And here comes the heat. High heat index values getting up to 100 to 105 this weekend. I'm going to let you know also when flooding rains may be moving into the area as well.
Plus, with hot, muggy conditions here for the weekend, how organizers for several upcoming events are planning to beat the heat.
Plus, bond is set for one of the people accused of trying to poison women. We take a look at the criminal complaint and what led to their arrest. And
later, a town board chairman in Dodge County is charged with choking a dog to death. What led to that deadly outcome? We welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Susan Simon. Sarah is off tonight.
And we start with the expected dangerous temperatures set to move through Wisconsin this weekend.
Most of the state will be under some kind of heat alert where it could feel like 100 degrees at times. For the latest on these alert day conditions, let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. It's going to be a hot 3 days, Alex.
Yep, get ready for it. 3 days, too. This isn't just one day of hot stuff and then a cold front comes through and ends that. No, this is 3 prolonged days, not just by day, but also by night of uncomfortable conditions, and I should say dangerous conditions, rather, with heat index values above 100 degrees. Let's break that down for you all 3 days here. Actual air temperatures, 92 to 94. The heat index values above 100 degrees. This is that dangerous heat, extremely muggy conditions as well that will keep those temperatures not just high by day, but also by night. We're at 84 in Madison, but look off to the west, upper 80s to near 90. That's where the hot stuff is coming from, out of Iowa and out of the Great Plains. Dew points, I'll show that later in Maine weather, are also really starting to creep up out to the west. That's that measure of moisture that helps make the heat index as high as it's going to be. Temperatures staying in the 80s, then dipping down into the upper 70s, and then you might be thinking, oh, we'll get down into the 60s tonight. We're going to have temperatures tonight staying in the mid to upper 70s, and our normal high temperatures this time of year, get this, are near 80 degrees. So our low tonight is going to be near our high. The temperature trend the next 10 days, you look out towards Tuesday and beyond, and you may be thinking, ooh, reprieve from the hot stuff, but not the humid stuff. I'll also show you how humid we will be the next 10 days and talk about flooding rains that could also be in our forecast.
All right, Alex, thank you. And we're continuing to cover that heat wave that's taking over Wisconsin this weekend. Dane County issued a heat advisory Saturday afternoon all the way until Monday night.
And of course, it's all happening during a busy Saturday with several outdoor events planned. Our Tanisha Shaw is reporting on how you can stay safe outside this weekend.
The Madison Farmers Market, the Juneteenth celebration, and the Naked Bike Ride are returning to the capital city this Saturday during what's expected to be the hottest weekend of the year so far. It's important to stay safe and not overheat while outside at these events. Many of them involve a lot of walking in extreme heat.
You start feeling like you're getting too warm, get someplace cool. And I mean indoors, in the shade, someplace of where you can cool down.
Hundreds of bikers will raise awareness for oil use and body positivity with the Naked Bike Ride.
If you're considering doing the ride and you are worried you might not do so well in the heat, come next year. Do not risk it. It's a fun event to question our dependence on oil and to celebrate body positivity, but we do this every year.
Holly McEntee helps organize the bike ride and says she's urging bike riders to bring water and to stop riding if they're feeling exhausted.
Sunscreen, really, really important. Watch out for each other. You know, if you see somebody struggling, we will have field medics on the ride with us.
Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
And you can track the forecast for yourself on the First Warn Weather app. It has hourly planners, road conditions, and radar. Download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. We're continuing to learn more tonight about the couple charged in a plot to poison women in Dane and Rock County.
Well, Paul Van Dyne and Andrea Whitaker appeared in Dane County Court earlier today. Van Dyne's bail set at $10 million. Whitaker's at $4 million.
In Rock County, Andrea Whitaker and Paul Van Dyne are charged with 3 counts of attempted first-degree intentional homicide, aggravated battery, first-degree recklessly endangering safety, and stalking resulting in bodily harm.
In Dane County, both are charged with 2 counts of attempted first-degree intentional homicide. Van Dyne also charged with felony stalking. Whitaker charged with harboring and aiding a felon.
Our Ellie La Liberté is here now with details from the criminal complaint. Ellie?
Well, Susan and Eric, the Dane County victim, said that she is still scared for her life in court today. She spoke virtually to the court as it determined the bail for both of these accused. Now, we've also received these criminal complaints from both counties. It says that Whitaker and Van Dyne stalked and tried to kill the Rock County victim 3 times and the Dane County victim twice. Now, here's a timeline of both of those plots. We'll start in Rock County. On April 26th, the victim says she took a drink from her gym water bottle that caused her to vomit. The water in that bottle tested positive for cyanide. On May 4th, she got in her car and noticed a smell so strong that she got a ride home instead of driving that car. Detectives believe it was hydrogen sulfide. On May 7th, her stepfather, while cleaning her car, said he found brown powder in the air vents. The substance tested positive for abrin, a chemical that can be fatal in even small amounts. The Rock County victim was hospitalized early May for poisoning. According to the complaint, she and Van Dyne had a brief relationship. Now to the Dane County victim. On May 15th, the victim left a Costco and found her car broken into. Now, nothing was stolen, but she says the water in her bottle tasted weird, so she spit it out. That water tested positive for cyanide. Then on May 20th, a similar situation occurred, and according to the complaint, a bystander noticed Van Dyne trying to break into her car, but when confronted, he walked away. The Dane County victim says she only went on a few dates with Van Dyne. We've changed her voice to protect her privacy.
I deserve to feel safe. The community deserves to live free of fear. And that means the court must take the necessary steps to ensure Paul is not released. I need the court's protection. The community needs this court's protection. I ask that when determining his bail, this weigh heavily on your mind. Because
Now, according to the criminal complaint on Whitaker's phone, there are 2 searches for the Dane County victim and 96 searches for the Rock County victim. There are also 125 searches for chemicals and including their lethal doses. And tonight at 10, I'll break down messages between Whitaker and Van Dyne and their plot to the poison.
We will see you tonight at 10, Ellie. Thank you. To an update now on the deadly shooting at a Janesville apartment complex Tuesday morning. Police are confirming the shooting is a murder-suicide. It happened at Aspen Square Apartments. Officers found one person unresponsive with a gunshot wound in the doorway of an apartment. 3 other people were found with gunshot wounds inside. One person was taken to a hospital with life-threatening injuries and was still in critical condition. The 3 other people died at the scene. The Rock County Medical Examiner's Office identified them as 25-year-old Julius Civiker, 21-year-old Javarius Wicks, and 55-year-old Scott Roberts. Law enforcement did not identify which one was the shooter. The shooting stemmed from a domestic relationship between 2 of the people involved. The chairman of the town of Chester is facing felony animal abuse charges after allegedly choking a dog to death with a leash.
Armand Rahman has the horrific details and a first-hand account from the woman who brought the dog to Richard Van Buren.
Shelby Crone was trying to save this golden retriever from a marsh trail in Horicon. Instead, she may have accidentally taken it to its executioner.
It was so devastating and so horrible to see.
According to the criminal complaint, Crone says she was told by law enforcement and the Dodge County Humane Society to take the dog to Richard Van Buren, the town of Chester chairperson. What happened next, Crone says,
I will never unsee.
The complaint says Van Buren fashioned a leash into a noose, which he told investigators was a choke collar, and pulled the dog by the neck through the window. The dog then bit Van Buren's finger, and he allegedly lifted it up on the leash with both hands raised up in the air, essentially hanging the animal. All the while, Crone was trying to intervene, but she says Van Buren replied, quote, "This dog bit me, it's going to die."
I wanted to save him. Why are you doing this? And the next thing I know, he takes that dog's limp body as he's still holding it in the air and throws it in the dog cage.
The executive director of the Dodge County Humane Society tells me municipalities are offered contracts with animal welfare organizations to handle stray animals. Chester has received at least 2 offers. But she goes on to say, quote, "Despite these offers, the town has consistently chosen to designate a member of their own town board to handle stray animal matters."
I hope he pays for what he did. And I hope and pray that they take him off the position that he's in.
In his own interview with deputies, Van Buren says he usually keeps a stray dog for 7 days, then he, quote, "takes care of it," which he says means he shoots it. He says the choke collar was, quote, too tight for too long, probably, and believe the dog died from, quote, lack of air.
And the last thing that dog seen was my eyes when he died because he kept looking at me.
I reached out to Van Buren, but he did not answer my call.
Armand, thank you. Van Buren's signature bond has been set at $5,000. He's ordered to not have any domesticated dogs on his property. He's due back in court next month.
Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, we'll take a look at some of the Juneteenth celebrations happening around the Madison area this weekend.
Plus, in the wake of the shootings of 2 Minnesota lawmakers, we hear from a policy attorney on the current state of political violence in the country. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
We're a little less than a week out from the politically motivated shooting in Minnesota that left one lawmaker dead and another injured. An incident that is raising questions about continued political violence we've seen in recent years. It's not a recent issue. 14 years ago, Arizona Congresswoman Gabby Giffords survived an attempt on her life. In the wake of that shooting, she started an organization to track and mitigate gun violence across the country. We spoke with Giffords' policy attorney, Jesse Ojeda, about the state of political violence right now.
I think it's around, last I saw, 1/3 of Americans believe that it's justified to use physical violence to defend the country right now. And upwards of 80% believe that our democracy is under attack. So these numbers are continuing to grow every year, which is deeply concerning because if we don't have democracy, we don't have much else.
You can see more from our conversation this Sunday at 10:30 with Will Keneally on For the Record.
Well, the day of Juneteenth may have come and gone, but the celebrations aren't over just yet. The city of Madison getting ready to celebrate tomorrow. Starting at 10:30 in the morning, multiple streets will close for the Juneteenth celebration. The parade closes South Park Street from West Badger Road to West Wingra Drive. They'll reopen it at noon. Streets around Penn Park will remain closed until 7:30 p.m. Some metro routes will be affected. Visit the City of Madison website for more details. And tonight, starting at 7, you can go to the Black Business Hub for a 21 and older social family reunion. It runs until 11, and then later on Sunday, Stoughton will hold its 6th annual celebration. That'll be in the afternoon from 1 to 4. Still ahead, time is running out to vote for Best of Madison.
Plus, Sun Prairie prepares to host a brand new festival looking to brighten up the area. And we'll check in with Alex for the latest on the heat wave moving in this weekend on this first official day of summer. Stick around.
Watching News 3 Now at 6.
Nearly a dozen muralists will be painting several murals in downtown Sun Prairie leading up to the first ever Mural Fest next week. Local resident Lena Ugrin has painted murals around the United States, also in Greece, even in the U.S. Embassy in Bosnia. And when not painting, she waitresses at Full Mile Beer Company and Kitchen in Sun Prairie, which overlooks a cinder block wall. And with permission from the building's owner, Lena and several muralists from all over the country will be transforming that wall into a work of art.
I just love it. It's just, it's a form of meditation. It's a form of being present in the moment and also escaping at the same time. I don't know, I love it.
Well, a block party and grand reveal will be held Thursday, June 26th. That'll be from 5 to 8 p.m.
You still have time to vote for Madison Magazine's Best of Madison. There are more than 150 categories on people, places, and things to do. You can only vote once in each category, but you don't have to live in Madison to vote. Voting is open until June 30th, and the winners will be announced in Madison Magazine's October edition.
Now, dangerous heat moving into southern Wisconsin this weekend. Alex now has a complete look at your forecast.
Yes, let's dive right into it here. Heat index values above 100. That's what we can expect across all of southern Wisconsin Saturday, Sunday, even going on into Monday, even going into Tuesday. We might still have some hot and very humid conditions. Right now, 84 in Madison, but upper 80s off to the west towards the Mississippi River. That's where the hot stuff is coming from. Here in Dane County, we got 87 on Highway 14, Middleton going to the west towards Cross Plains. Otherwise, 84 to 85. Actually, we got 89 on the other side of the Wisconsin River Valley in Sauk City. So the temperatures are working their way up. And as we plan our evening tonight, get this here. As we get past our 10 o'clock newscast, temperatures near 80. We go into the early morning hours, temperatures are still near 80. And I've been saying this in our newscast for the past couple of days. Normal highs are right around 80 degrees, and our low tonight is not even going to fall too far below our normal high temperature for this time of year. Follow the dots. This is how it's going to feel as we go on into Tuesday or Tuesday. Well, Tuesday will be hot too, but Saturday, by the time we get to 2 p.m., that's where I was going with my words here. We get the heat index value up to around 103 to 105. That is in that very hot category, and we're just going to repeat this all over again on Sunday. Going on into Monday, there's that 103 heat index value on Sunday and a 100 on Monday as we eye up a cold front coming into the area. This is the time of year when we get this high heat and humidity. We start looking at the dew point more. Look at in Minnesota stretching down into Iowa. Dew points mid to upper 70s. Fort Dodge in northwest Iowa. That dew point is approaching that oppressive near 80-degree marker. And our Muggy meter is going to take our humidity levels in the mid 70s as we go into Saturday, Sunday, and probably Monday too. That's approaching the oppressive value where you step outside and you just feel that rush of heat as if you're out in a sauna. That's what it will feel like this weekend, not just during the daylight hours, but I want to emphasize the nighttime too, because if you don't have the availability to cool off at night, or cool off during the day, at night you're not going to have that availability either. Temperatures are going to be near 80 degrees with the heat index, the feels like factor, still in the 80s to near 90 degrees. And don't forget about our furry friends too. They have to step their paws out on that pavement at temperatures 90 to 95. The concrete and asphalt temperatures are approaching 140 to 150. That can burn their paws very, very quickly. So maybe walk them over towards the grass as we go out over the course of the next couple days. Take this full screen here, alert day conditions lasting into Monday. Then we turn into a unsettled pattern. A stationary front is going to bring widespread chances for showers and thunderstorms. Could have some severe weather during this time frame, and also very, very humid conditions. This is a new graphic, dew point temperatures and that Muggy meter keeping the humidity levels, even though the actual air temperatures are in the 80s, it's going to feel oppressive humidity wise. And then we just wring that out at 10. I'm going to show you how much water we could wring out in the upper Midwest.
And so state soccer, do they play that on plastic turf or do they play it on grass? Because that makes a
either way.
It's hot. And it's going to be hotter for those playing in the title game.
Yeah, and Edgewood, they advanced the championship Saturday. How the Crusaders did it next in overtime. That's on News 3 Now. Remember that whole thing a couple months ago between the Badgers, Xavier Lucas, and the Hurricanes? Well, it's not over yet. Wisconsin and VC Connect LLC are suing the University of Miami, saying the Hurricanes tampered with the NIL contracts they had with Lucas. Now, the suit claims Miami persuaded the cornerback to break his agreements and transfer, which violates NCAA anti-tampering rules. Well, we're a couple months away from Greg Gard's squad tipping off their season, but it's never too early to start getting ready for the 132nd meeting between Wisconsin and Marquette, because the date has been set for this year's installment of the I-94 rivalry. The Badgers will host the Golden Eagles on December 6th. UW lost last year's game, but has won 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two. The two best words in sports are Game 7, and thanks to the Pacers, there will be one in the NBA Finals. In a must-win game last night, Indiana dominated OKC to tie the series up at 3. Oshkosh native Tyrese Halliburton scored 14 points and dished out 5 assists in the win. So now it's a one-game series to win a world championship, and Halliburton is just trying to focus on Sunday's game.
You know, for the next couple days, it's going to be, the narratives are going to be almost poison, to talk about what this would mean to our city and our organization and legacy talk, and we played so well, and now the pressure's on. It's going to, you know what I mean? There's going to be, narratives that we can't really pay attention to.
Well, let's kick it. Edgewood back at the state girls soccer tournament for the first time since 2023, taking on Kiel in the Division III semifinals. This one scoreless after 80 minutes, and that's when Sonoma Beaver broke free. The Crusaders' leading scorer buries one in off the corner kick That gives Edgewood a 1-0 lead. She'd add another later, and the Crusaders march on to the finals with a 2-0 win.
Congratulations.
Hydrate, ladies, hydrate. Coming up on News 3 Now at 10 tonight, after Grammy greats, the stories behind the songs, continuing coverage on the 2 people arrested for trying to poison a woman. Ellie La Liberté digs deeper into that criminal complaint and what led to their arrest. Again, that's tonight. Join us for News 3 Now at 10.
And a final check of our summer forecast. Happy summer.
Happy summer, and get ready for it because it's here.
Yeah.
Look at our temperatures for overnight lows and then our highs. While we may not shatter record highs, the overnight lows, we're literally going to melt those records away tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday night. What that means is at nighttime, these lows are going to be so warm that they're going to set history both tonight, Saturday night, and Sunday night as well. And this means our temperatures, we're not going to get any reprieve during the overnight hours. After hot days, it's going to be hot nights, and then next week we're going to trade all of that in for shower and thunderstorm activity. It's going to be daily, every day, heavy rainfall. Some areas could be picking up inches of rain next week, and that's what we'll be watching next week.
Look out for your neighbors and take care of those pets this weekend as well. Alex, thank you. Thanks for watching News 3 Now at 6. Coming up next, Entertainment Tonight.
Thanks for watching.